Hi Year 7s, I'm going to have a go at this project that you'll be doing so you can get some ideas of what you might be able to do. Firstly, looking at the information at the top, create an inspiring soundtrack to a given animation. So we've got to choose one of the 6 down here, and then success criteria, you can use Soundtrap. I think you can actually use others. For example, Mac people might use GarageBand if they want to. And my soundtrack matches the storyline, and I've been thoughtful in my musical choices. Absolutely. We've got 3 lessons to do it. I'm going to try and do it in about 10 minutes flat, but I've done a bit of preparation beforehand. So I've already had a look through all of them, and I've chosen this one. So I'm going to click on it. And then instead of playing it here, I'm actually going to download it by clicking on this button here, and then I'm going to go into a section I've already prepared, which is video projects here, and click on save, and there it comes up here. So now I'm going to close this, and I probably don't need this anymore at the moment. I've already watched that. And okay, go into my video projects, and here it is here, animation 2. Let's just watch it, or bits of it anyway. So there's a blue bean, and further on there's a orange bean, and they're a bit angry. Make a line. Someone's trying to make friends. The other one clearly doesn't like the way he makes friends. So he gets out a toy and tries to persuade the person he's a good person to hang around with. And as usual, silly self, and gets into trouble. Tries something else. And makes paper plane. Hits him in the back. Oh no, he just catches it. And falls over and cries, and then he said, well, let's play this way. So that's pretty much it. And what I'm going to do is I've actually prepared some pieces, and I've shown you in other videos how to make things in Soundtrap. So I'll just go to Soundtrap to show you one thing that I made and downloaded just recently. So type in Soundtrap for education, and there it is there. Log in. Long process. If I've got lots of time, I actually might cut this bit out using the edit, but anyway, here we go. We can log in via the Microsoft School account. Sometimes you have to click once or twice, and also it takes a long time. Waiting, and yes, it's actually done it. You just have to wait for it to think about it a bit. You can see this thing whirring around here, and here we go. Alrighty, now there's another video I did which did the Year 7's first song, and I think it's this one. No, maybe this one. That's it. Now I'm going to go into the studio to see what I did. So hopefully my students have done this one. We'll see. So we started with a drum pattern using the pattern maker. So just bass, snare, bass, bass, snare with hi-hats all the way along. Sounds like, now with this one you can solo it by, I don't think you can, we'll just have to mute all the others. Well, there we go. We'll learn something new. I'm sure we can solo it, but anyway. And it's looping at the moment because I'm in the beat making area. If I go out of that, it will go all the way across, and then we added the bass guitar on 2 notes, C and F, and then we had a piano, and a saxophone. Now it's quite a happy song. So there's a happy section video that I chose for it. Now I downloaded it. One way to do it is to click on this one. If it's not already mixed, then I generally exit the studio, which forces it to mix it. It can be a bit faster this way. And then I downloaded it here. And then you choose where you're going to see it. And that's it there. So you just pretend I've hit the download because I've already done it. Cancel that. And now, because I've done lots of other stuff, I'll show you them in a minute. That's all I need from Soundtrap for the moment. So I'm going to go back to my videos folder where I've got all the stuff already set to go. That's not my videos folder that I want though. That's another videos folder in music. Videos in music, how's that? Okay, so there's the animation. Now there's another couple of projects that I made over the few years in Soundtrap and also Mixcraft or GarageBand, and I created 30-second ringtones. Here's one. Another fairly happy one, and my one I use for my ringtone at the moment for my phone. Fades away. Gets faster. So I did all that in Mixcraft, and this is my scary ringtone. I'm going to use this one for when they draw the line. It's not exactly appropriate, but I think it's a bit funny, so that's why I used it. And finally, this one that I just did last week. Okay, and also I went on the internet and I searched for sound effects and clicked on the sound effects free, and there's a place called freesound.org. It seems quite reasonable. I don't think it's got any bugs in it. And I had to log in. I had to join, which is just email address, and you had to confirm. And then, for example, I clicked on falling, and there's a few, like for example, there's this one, or fall on floor. That's the one I'm using. Whoops. Okay, and you can see that there's a pile of them. Once I download it, I actually have to trim it, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, because I've got a pile of different ones, so I've already downloaded these, I'm actually going to use this photos one to compile it all. So I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So, but you can do what the normal one is. If you have the whole length of it and you want to do it all at once, then you can do the timings and put it that way, but I'm going to do it slightly different. So I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to now I think this is the one I've already done, in which case I need to redo it, but anyway, let's have a listen. Oh, good. That's the... Alright, so there it is, all blank, ready to go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some custom audio. And I've clearly already set it up. I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to click on the photo and create a new video project, and I need to call it Mr. Burton animation. Okay, go OK, and then I need to add something. So from the PC I need to find where it is, which is video projects, and there it is there. Open it up and drag it from the project, put it in there, I think that's right, and play it. Good. Okay, just expand. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some custom audio, and to do this properly, well, by the way, you can drag along like this to get to where you need to go. I'm going to add an audio file, so I know I'm going to use this one and this one and this one, and I'm going to do the falling on the floor one as well. So I open all them, and then it's dropped them all in at the start, which isn't where I want it to do. So I'm going to undo all that, and I'm going to do it bit by bit to make it a bit easier to see. So at the start I'm going to use this Latin piece here, because I know what it sounds like and I reckon it sounds pretty good. Let's have a listen. And just about there I'm going to change the music. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that back to about there, start it again, have a listen from about here I reckon. Come on, no, drag that across. Okay, I'm going to start a little bit later than that because I want it to fade out just when it the line appears. There, so just bring that into about there. Let's try it. It's a bit fiddly, isn't it? I need to hear a bit more. Okay, just about there. Let's try that from the start. And even further back to there. Alright, now I'm going to add, because I think it's a bit scary, but it's not really, but that's what I'm going to do because I think it's funny. I'm going to add my scary ringtone just about there, and see if I can bring it well, let's see what it sounds so far. Alright, maybe overlap it a fraction about there. It's good. If I got it right, because I checked it out before, the yo-yo goes on. Okay, it didn't line up this time, so I'm just going to move it around a bit till it does. There. So it's a bit late, so I need to bring it forward a bit. Just a fraction. Let's try that. And just about now, I'm going to get in another thing, maybe a little bit further along than that. Let's have a listen. No, two jumped off. Let's try there. Notice it jumps straight to where you've got the video thing. That was good. Okay, and then he's going to try and be happy again. So I think that's a perfect place for my little melody one, which is here. But first I need to bring this back to, oops, cancel, to where at the end, because it's going to jump in exactly where I put this. So let's try that. Add audio, and Year 7 first project, open, bring it back. Stop about there when he falls down, because I've got a sound effect for that. Now it needs to be before that, so about there. So jump back to, oops, right on there. And then I've got my falling on floor. Open. Now if you remember, there's it didn't start with falling on floor, so we'll just listen to it.
Sound of man falling on the floor.
That's it there. Okay, so I need to bring it to about here and there, and bring it back. Actually, let's bring it across to here, over to here. Let's have a listen. There we go. How's that for luck? And then bring it back further across here. Actually, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to have a bit of silence while he cries. So let's watch that again. Alright, I'm actually going to extend the music a little bit further to get the last bit of that note. No, it's too far. So what I'll do is just check that. Notice if it's a long way away, it doesn't jump around, but if it's close, it snaps to that line. Still too much. So just a little bit further. And there we go. And now we'll just bring that, whoops, falls too far. Let's see what that sounds like. Something went wrong there. Not quite sure what. One thing you can't do in this, and that is adjust the volumes. So you'll need to make sure that the volumes are correct before you come into this. No, I think maybe there's a louder fall later on. Let's try. No, let's try it back here. Or that starting one. I guess that will have to be, I've lost that starting one. Alright, it's got to be that one. So bring it across to here, back to here, bring this one over here. Alright, yeah, just about there I think was where it was. Bring that back to where he falls, which is just about there. It should jump, there it goes. And there we go. Okay, it's crying, and then out with the racket, and I've got some nice playing music to go with that one, which is this one here. And let's hear what that sounds. Probably a bit earlier than that. Whoops. Maybe there, just as he brings it out. Okay, let's have a listen to that. I think a bit later than that. So we see the racket before we get the happy sounds. Let's try that. So that's pretty much it. You could probably put, if I had some sad music, I'd put it just in here, but I don't have any at the moment. So once you've finished your project, and I think it's pretty good, you click Done, and then it saves it for you. Let's have a listen. Alright, probably could have put the bagpipe a little bit later, but that will do. Now if you want to add some more sound effects, because you only do one line at a time, you can actually export it, which is what we're going to do now, and then import it again as a new project, and then I think you can add another line of sound on top of that one. Right now we're just going to export it, and so we click on Finish Video, and I think that's fine. It's only about 200 kilobytes, so it's quite a short, small file. Click on Export, and then you name it, Mr. Burton's Animation. I'll go number 2 just in case. Make sure that you know where you're saving it to, and mine's in 2020 New Work. Export it. Takes a while to export. And then you hand up your new video. Okay, thank you very much. See you later.